Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 2016 and welcome back to our career mode. Round 3 brings us to China for the Pirelli Chinese Grand Prix, and it should be a fun one because the first 2 rounds, well, they proved nothing less than excitement. Round 1 in Australia, the Melbourne Grand Prix, we finished 19th, we blocked, we got a little too ahead of ourselves as a rookie in our first ever race in F1, and we came back, but we finished 19th. Last week, we went to Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix, and we finished 11th because of a time restriction penalty. So this week, we're looking to improve that number even higher, and we're looking to get a top 10. We are just northwest of Shanghai. And ladies and gentlemen, it should be a fun one. Lewis Hamilton has won the last 2 races. He will look to go for the hat trick today. And if he wins, not that he's already clinched the Constructors' Cup and Drivers' Championship for Mercedes, but if he wins, it'll be probably 1% to 0.1% for someone else to beat him. So, what are we looking for today here in China, in Shanghai? Well, guess what? 16 corners, 2 DRS zones, almost 5.5 kilometer circuit length, max speed 350 kilometers, and that long backstretch heading into turn 14, that is 1,000 feet long. So you're going to see passes, you're going to see blocks, you might even see some wrecks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting set to go racing under the green lights and cloudy skies from Shanghai. Your Drivers' Championship standings: Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Nico Rosberg. Mercedes runs 1 and 3 in that. Constructors' Championship: Mercedes easily runs that over Red Bull Racing. Max Verstappen will sit on pole, and we actually start second. We ran a couple tenths slower than him, but we are on the front row. And into turn 1, we will be on the inside. So without any more cautions or wave arounds or delays or whatever you want to call them, we are ready to meet your starting lineup and where they are starting in today's race. So we're just getting some team communication before we get set to go racing. Here's how everyone lines up today. Verstappen and us, front row 1, 2. Ricardo, Hamilton, 3 and 4. Mercedes, they will look to go 3 in a row today. Rosberg, Vettel. We have Raikkonen, Sainz, Massa, Bottas round at your top 10. Alonso, Button, the British closest to American. Perez, Hulkenberg, Gutierrez, our teammate, he starts 15th. Ivat, Werlin, Nasser, Ericsson, Haryanto, Palmer, and Magnussen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go racing from green lights here, and as the field gets set and gets re-gridded, we hope you enjoy today's race. From China, from North America, from South America, wherever you're watching this, please be excited because it's going to be a fun F1 year. So, as the grid gets reformed, we're ready to set in for a couple of laps of fun in the beginning. 2-3 laps might take all the time in the world to get straightened out and just calm down, but anything can happen in F1. Green lights are on and we are racing. Verstappen and us taking into turn number 1, and we're going to have problems early because next to Verstappen, he looks like he slowed down a little, and we just didn't slow down at all. And guess what? We get a warning, but that puts us and Verstappen, the pole sitter, in the front row in 9th and 12th already. So after 3-4 turns, we're going to get some positions back. Right here we go on the inside of Perez, and we cannot clear him, and now we clear him. So good stop there by us to get that position back. And now we are focusing on Sainz. So Sainz, he's running 10th. We're running 11th. Verstappen, he's running just ahead of Sainz in 9th. So increasingly, we are working our way up. P11 out of 22. Lap 1 of 14. And we're going to ride it in hot with Sainz. And now we are going to make our descent onto the 1 kilometer long backstretch here in Pirelli Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai, or near Shanghai. So, we're talking about blocking, we're talking about passing. Guess what? This is one thing. We're going to be checking our sides. We're going to be checking our backside. We do not want to wreck on here, because if we wreck, it is going to send us flying somewhere we do not want to be, and that place would be called a wall. Because these cars, as you already know from Melbourne, are not fundamentally sound for hard hits on the wall. Tires fly off, pieces fly everywhere. Luckily though, there are no fans around that backstretch, so hey, you take what you can get. Speaking of taking what you can get, guess what? We're taking 2 positions here, and we're moving into P number 9. Verstappen, I think we hit him trying to clear him, and that's the second incident with him, but it doesn't say we did, and guess what? We're not gonna sit on it. So, lap 2 of 14, we are coming to about halfway into lap 2. We are running P9, Sainz 10th, Massa 8th. Our teammate Esteban Gutierrez right now, he is running P13, so he's moved up 2 spots from where he last left off. And now it gets fun, because these winding roads here in China, I almost called Chinese, in China, well, they're a lot of fun to drive, but they're also very difficult to handle. Right here, it has to be the key little corners. Heading off into turn 12 and 13, you have to nail those perfectly. You get a good entrance into 14, or onto the backstretch, excuse me, out of 13. And then you just hope you don't get involved in a wreck down this kilometer backstretch. So, with that said, we are running P9, and guess what? We are going to halt on the brakes, a very tight hairpin turn, heading off into the final corner here, corner 15, and we are 3 laps in. Now, we run a little wide here, but no warning there, no little, hey, you get a time penalty, they're going to let it go. So, now lap 3 is on, DRS is enabled, and we are going to try and catch up to Massa as best we can. Get our position back. We were trying to get back up to P number 2 where we started. Ultimately P number 1, but Lewis Hamilton, he's won 2 in a row here. And Mercedes, well, they've already won the season. I mean, let's just be honest, ladies and gentlemen. They've already won the season. Hamilton is doing all the work. Nothing away from Nico Rosberg. He's doing a phenomenal job. It's just Lewis Hamilton is too darn good. Speaking of too darn good, something we're not gonna see that's good is this battle with Massa, because we probably could be passing him right now. And in fact, we're gonna go in for the pass, but we hold off. Somewhere there's a caution just behind us. We're gonna let that go. And now we are heading into turns 12 and 13. We get in the back of Massa. That's the second encounter with someone in the back. We actually damage our wing a little. But right here, ladies and gentlemen, we are eager to get past Massa. He gets a good run out of 13. We go on the curb. Here's where it gets really bad. Kids, shut your eyes. Do whatever you want. Leave. We enable DRS, but our car... Our car's done. We have to retire from the session, and now we get to see what happens. Using the race director feature, here's our point of view. It looks like we were coming down, and Red Bull Racing was just coming up. We're going to get some different angles, but it's unfortunate that our race and Red Bull Racing team, one of their cars, their race ended as well. I honestly cannot tell you what happened, but we're going to get a perfect angle right here. This is Red Bull Racing point of view, and yeah, he was coming up. He had a guy on his inside, and we were coming down. He's out of the race. We're out of the race. Pretty nasty damage. And now we're going to take a look at the third car in line here. And you'll see exactly what happened. Actually, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. Third car in line. He did get damage, but he didn't get nothing too severe. But we have to retire. And, it's disappointing. We didn't retire in Melbourne. We actually got away with it. And then we finished 11th last week in Bahrain. And then to do a bonehead decision, we're looking at our side way too much. We're not focusing on the track. We cut down and we take out a Red Bull racing car. On the other hand, Lewis Hamilton is your race winner. He is now swept, speaking of Red Bull, third place in Pirelli Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. The driver to watch, Kimi Räikkönen, he came home 5th. And, yeah. Mercedes, again, 1-2. Rosberg, Hamilton. Right now, it's just practice for these guys in Mercedes. So, I mean, they have better equipment than everybody. You got to expect it, but 3 wins in a row. Not by Rosberg. Not Rosberg, Hamilton. All are Lewis Hamilton. He is a force to be reckoned with. And we retire. So what does that say about our race so far in our season? Well, it's not good. Daniel Ricciardo comes home 3rd for Red Bull Racing. And guys, that is how this race ends. Esteban Gutierrez comes home 14th. He finishes 1 up. And then, well, we thought Red Bull Racing was out. But it looks like they made a comeback. We finished dead last. And somehow we get out of that. Only just us. They apparently repaired the car. But guys, there are the standings. We are sitting in 16th. We dropped 1 spot from last week. We will see you next week in our F1 career.